Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium, and I have two of my good friends here. I have Kevin with Kevin's Loving Vibrations and Fefe with Touch by Tarot. So we thought we would just jump on and talk about what just happened today. Historic moment. Joe Biden decided to step down and he endorsed Kamala Harris. I want to say before we get started that the two people on my screen called this to a T. They called this. Kevin said he today actually predicted this, and he's been predicting this, right? And Fefe predicted in her video too on Friday. So you're looking at some pretty accurate readers right here on the screen. I just knew it was going to happen, but I didn't call it like they did. So I'm happy they're joining me today. I appreciate their accuracy. I appreciate their dedication to this community, right? You guys are upset. You feel the energy, and I just want to say we feel it too. We kind of feel it times 10 because not only do we feel it for ourselves, but we feel it for you because we're like, oh, the viewers are going to be so upset. So we have like even more of a pronounced energetic reaction to this stuff. So like I said in my video that came out this morning, please be kind to us. We are also triggered. We are also under a lot of stress. Okay, having said that, thanks guys for joining me today. How are y'all? How are my friends?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here, Susan, and let's have some fun. Let's shift this energy that's heavy and let's uplift it out of the fear and out of the anger. Let's allow that to motivate us and hold the faith to this awesome future that we're just now creating. We're gonna surf this blue wave to November, and I'm actually feeling a bit of excitement. Not to say that I'm sad that Joe Biden stepped down, but I'm feeling the energy kind of shift. It's like a lighter energy kind of coming in, and I've been saying it. I've been feeling a lot of us all having to come together, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement and momentum building up from this point all the way up to the fall. It's going to be bumpy at points, but we're going to get through it. So just do your best to manifest this wonderful new beginning.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, I think this is just going to be a tremendous injection of energy that we've needed in the Democratic Party again. And I think the respect and reverence for Joe Biden is really going to escalate as well, because we all know how extremely difficult this has been for him to reach this decision. And yet now that, because we've been operating in such uncertainty for so long, that now we have an answer, and there's still some questions, whether who it's going to be, if it's going to be Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket. I guess we're probably going to look into some of that tonight. But just the idea that, as you all were saying, it's time for us to finally come together and understand whoever it is. The bottom line is democracy or fascism, authoritarianism, like which, pick a team. And that's where we are. And I think that's going to help all of us to come together, even though emotions are running high.
Yeah. And this is going to totally shift, like I said, the energy, but also the narrative of this race.
Yeah.
Now who's the old candidate? Who's the one that has some issues? They're not going to continue to attack Biden anymore. It totally shifts the whole narrative.
Oh, totally. It totally does. You guys, I have slow mode on. I can't make it any slower. It's just a lot of people here, and there's probably going to be more people because we're a little bit earlier. I totally agree with you guys. Now, I do want to say that when this first went down, because the way it went down, like with that letter that Biden wrote, there was just some weird energy around this letter. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is like, I'm getting broken up with, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting ditched through a form letter. And then I guess he came back and said, I support, Kamala Harris, because I've always seen Kamala Harris being president. I mean, I've said that ad nauseum, right? So, video I did today, I said, I see Biden really being staunchly behind her. But I think what I missed and what I continue to miss is the emotional backlash. Like when I see the picture, it's black and white. It doesn't have emotion. So the emotion I saw was Biden being behind her. I kind of skipped over the emotion of Biden being crushed. You know what I mean? I think he really needed to take an hour and just sort of pick himself up off the floor, get himself back together before he could say, we got work to do. Right. And I think that's what happened to all of us. I think all of us were on the floor too. I certainly was. But once, like Kevin said, and Fefe said, once I realized that I really feel, and you guys can pull cards on this. I feel like Kamala's destined. I mean, she's just destined. I don't know. What are you guys getting? Fefe, did you pull cards again since I talked to you earlier today?
No, but I pulled a lot of cards yesterday because,
Okay.
you know, I was like, I really went out on a limb on Friday with the video. I did a video. It looked like he was going, like Joe Biden was going to step back, and that was a really tough video to do. And to sit in that energy and to see that for what it was, what I was getting from the guides. So then yesterday I was at it. And I do see Kamala. I just couldn't get, and then once I saw that solidly, I started going into, okay, so who's the VP? And that's what I'm excited to work with you guys on today, because like I don't have a clue.
Yeah, I'm excited to look at that today. Yeah, for sure.
I love, you know, and I'm sure many of the crew. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking the time. And also I need to say thank you so many of you. You know, we're all, like Susan said in the introduction, we're all triggered, you know, even for those of us who are on these channels and doing our best to go to the guides and you know, stay in this energy and give you the feedback, but it's still, we have our own personal feelings about it, and it's triggering for us as well. So for those of you who have been tremendously supportive, you know, right in the trenches, you know, we're all in this together. I want to really give you a heartfelt thanks. It means a lot, because it's not easy.
Yeah. It's not easy. And please don't go in the comments and say that this person was right or that person was wrong. That is not this community. Okay. It's just not. I'm not going to allow it. I just deleted a comment. I don't care if you say I'm right and somebody else is wrong, or I'm wrong. I don't even care. Just don't do it. Okay. We're all supporting each other. Period. End of story. Okay. Now, so Kevin, do you feel like it's going to be Kamala Harris?
I'll say when Biden picked her in 2020, I had a vision, and I knew instantly that she would be president at some point. Like you said, she's destined to be president. I saw her standing on the stage. There was a beautiful like glow around her aura. It just felt very captivating, very powerful. And she was being handed the crown, is how it kind of showed to me. So it was like being anointed. So absolutely, it's going to be Kamala. I'm telling you.
Okay.
There might be going up to the convention, some people trying to take away her crown.
God, I can't do it. I can't deal with these Democrats. I can't. They're killing me. They're killing me, y'all.
But I think overall, the convention is what's going to be what brings us all together. And then we're rallying behind whoever it is. We're riding that blue wave till November, and we're going to win.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you, Kelly. She's filed for presidency, and it is official. What I could ask you guys to do, if you want to do something, is send an email to her, send an email to Biden. You know, look, we should honor this guy. We should say, hey, thank you so much, right? But we should also send an email to Kamala, say congratulations. Then the other thing is, I just donated David Hogg. If you guys know who he is, he's I think he was in the Parkland shooting. He wasn't directly in the park, but he's become a big anti-gun advocate through all his college years. Now he's out. Now he's got his own kind of PAC, Political Action Committee. Anyway, he came right out and said, let's raise $100,000 for Kamala in an hour. The first thing he said was, Kamala Harris's people contact me. I want to raise an ton of money for her. And he just raised, I think, $100,000 in an hour. And I did join that. But you can, when she gets her Act Blue, you know, I wouldn't suggest you guys donate to just any anybody that texts you, because half of these things we don't even know who they are. But if you go directly to actblue.com or Google Act Blue and go right there, you can donate straight to her. She does need some money for sure. And she needs the support. We need to call our senators and our representatives and say, support Kamala. We want you to support Kamala.
Yeah. Can you feel the shift though, too? I think we're going to be getting record-breaking numbers of donations and money for Democrats.
Yeah,
absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if Kamala raises millions of dollars from today and into tomorrow. You watch.
Yeah, yes. I know a lot of us are very angry with mainstream media, but I will confess to switching in between some of the mainstream cable channels today, just to see what they were saying. And of course, if what they say is true, the donations, a lot of those big donors who were part of this resistance around Biden have already started to open up the floodgates and already putting in the money.
Really?
Yes, they said it's already happening. She raised that 2 million? Was it Friday? She was somewhere and she raised, it was a fundraiser.
She was in P-Town. She was in Provincetown.
That was it. And she raised, their goal was 1 million. I'm trying to remember who was with her. Was it Newsom?
Pete Buttigieg was with her. No, was it? Yeah, it was Pete.
Okay.
Because she was in P-Town, which is a gay, kind of a known as a, like a gay, I don't know what, vacation spot. I don't know what else to say.
Got it.
But yeah.
Well, I know I saw that their goal was 1 million and they raised.
That is amazing. Mm-hmm. That is amazing.
Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Absolutely. Biden is going to finish his term. I don't see, but I know there's crazy things going on. I see Speaker Johnson and all these people saying Biden should step down. I mean, they're just literally crazy rants. Okay. It is a full moon. So they're going to be ranting crazy. Okay. So don't pay no attention to them. Biden is going to do his thing. He's going to drive this bus all the way through. So I do think, what do you guys, so what I'm worried about, like if I want to say what I'm worried about, I'm a little worried about the convention because the astrology of our Democratic convention is similar to the Democratic convention astrology of 1968, which was when we did have a open primary. It was, Johnson stepped down and Humphreys and whatever, they were voted in. They both lost to Nixon. So do you guys see anything around the convention besides like a shite show?
Yeah. I threw cards on it not too long ago, and the Republicans had a tower moment and the Democrats had a tower moment. But the tower is not necessarily a bad card in the tarot. It can be an uncomfortable card. It's a card of unexpected chaos or change. So the best way to handle a tower moment is to let go and go with the flow, allow spirit to kind of guide us. Because what it's doing, it's shaking up anything that's no longer serving us so that we can rebuild on a strong foundation. So I do feel, I'm not super worried about the Democratic convention, and I'll tell you why. I feel like there may be a couple people that challenge Kamala, but I think the overwhelming majority of Democrats and Democratic leadership is going to be 100% for Kamala. I feel like there may be two challengers. That's what I'm picking up there.
Interesting. How about you, FFA?
Yeah, I'm not getting that. I pulled a number of cards, but I'm going to highlight these. I got the Emperor, the High Priestess, and the Strength card. I don't think that we're going to have, I'm almost feeling like the tower that we're talking about is sort of happening in this moment. It's almost like, it started now with this change. Because the tower, we got to remember, and to Kevin's point, it's not always about things being destroyed or something horrific. It is about something abrupt and something that is like, whoa, it throws you off, but it can throw you off for some really good, the outcome is really, because ultimately the universe is trying to work in our favor. And so I think that's, I don't see I don't see things happening at the convention. To Kevin's point, I agree. There could be those, we know there's going to be those there, dissenters. There are going to be some hurt feelings there. One of the cards that I did pull was the Five of Pentacles. So there's going to be some hurt feelings there. There are going to be people who just didn't see this coming and are going to have some issues with it. But with that strength, High Priestess, and I think the high priestess is coming around the vice president, because the high priestess, for those of you who may not really know tarot, can often indicate something that is unknown, something that is yet to be revealed. And so there are those question marks around it. I wonder, so are we not going to know who the vice president is until the convention?
Oh,
that's interesting.
Right?
That makes sense.
I feel like there's a few contenders there too.
I think that's true. I think she is going to announce it at the convention.
That's what this is. That's what that is.
All right, then.
That's what this is. And 150%, which we already knew, there's no surprise. I've got the Emperor. So I think whoever this is going to be extremely capable, extremely well vetted, extremely like right there, ready. And I also get the sense, I'm interested what you all have gotten is that these discussions have already been underway. That was part of the delay of Biden making this announcement.
I agree 100%.
I agree too.
It was really to gather up this momentum around Kamala, I feel, with him kind of taking this time off. He was making deals behind the scenes.
Yeah, to secure her, to say, we're not doing this. We're not just going to throw this ticket out. People actually voted for these people, like we left our jobs, got babysitters, we went and voted for these people. This is not something you just toss out like the Trump campaign would, So very interesting. So I agree with, so that's interesting. The FFA got that kind of sad, I'm just going to call it the sad card. I do see a little bit of shenanigans or some kind of like infighting, or it's almost like a snit. Like that's the word I want to use. Like it's just very childish. It just feels really childish. Like somebody walks in and says, everybody grow up. We've got work to do. We just need to do this. And put your feelings aside and let's just get this done, right? Like, I just feel like at some point somebody walks in and says, this is what we're doing, folks. Let's do this. So I think it will have some drama to it. The Democrats are not good at hiding our drama. We tend to put all our dirty laundry out on the line.
We sure did.
We ain't done yet.
Put it all out there.
Put it all out there. The Republicans like to just, get up the curtains, except for poor what's his name, Rudy Giuliani, who fell out. So yeah, thank you guys for donating to them. And listen, again, if you're just joining us, send an email to support Kamala Harris, and an email to give your thanks to Biden. Let's shower them with praise. Let's shower them with, we're aware, we're involved, we're plugged in, we're ready to help, we're ready to get involved. Also send emails to your senators and your reps and say, we support Kamala Harris. You guys, we have to support Kamala Harris. There's no other option here. So anybody who's like, I don't like her, I'm going to say what I said about 6 months ago. We don't care. We don't care if you don't like her. She's the Democratic nominee. End of story. You either get her or Trump. So now that I've reframed it, maybe you have a different choice. So send it out to your people and say, we're going to get behind her.
Yeah.
Can I just say real quick, Susan? I think that's a really good point. We might not, the feelings and the energy is high right now, and we need some time to really digest this. But it's important to see things from the higher perspective and not allow our emotions or our heart to cloud our judgment and our mind. Just like I know a lot of people are angry with a lot of these people that called Biden out to step down. But at the end of the day, right, we could be angry around it, but at the end of the day, we need to use that logic, that mind, and have a giant blue wave going into November. We all have to come together at some point. United we stand, divided we fall. Just keep that in mind.
Just keep that in mind. Use that anger to get busy. And we have to vote for anybody that we think, stood against us. We have to vote for them because we need a blue Senate. We need a blue Congress to be able to help Kamala get things done. And the last thing I'll say too about that is that Kamala, those people also that are like, I'm worried that America's not going to vote for Kamala. They're going to vote for Kamala. They're going to, because the world is waking up to the fact that this other guy is a convicted felon. He's an adjudicated rapist. He's a liar. Look, you guys, just put Kamala on the stage next to Trump. Game over. Put Kamala on the stage next to Vance. Game over. So let's talk about that. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel the Trump campaign is feeling right now? Yes.
I'm sorry. Can I just add one more thing to the convention before we move on to that? Because I really feel this is strongly. This is in terms of what may or may not happen at the convention and people getting in line behind Kamala. I'm getting that one of the primary sources of getting people behind Kamala is going to be Joe Biden. Death card. I'm thinking of, we know that he's a Scorpio and we know that he just ended things, right? He just ended his, often in prior readings, I'll get him as the King of Cups because he's a Scorpio, water sign. But I'm getting him now with this death card because he just ended it. But I'm looking at the convention, it came with the star card.
Perfect.
I think one of the main, like for those people who got snipped, I think that Joe Biden is going to listen. I made the greatest sacrifice that anybody can make in order to make room for her. So here's what I'm going to need you all to do. And for those who feel that loyalty to him and feel that emotional connection to him, they're going to listen to him, and whatever their feelings about Kamala, it's gonna pave the way. I think he's gonna be in probably one of the strongest, if not strongest, surrogates to help Kamala get to the finish line.
Absolutely. Preach it, Afefe. I got massive goosebumps and chills up my back as you were talking, which is always like, you're right on the money there. That's validation from spirit right there, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw us off.
No, that 100%, 100%. And, give Biden 24 hours to get through his feels, and then he's going to be her biggest advocate. I totally 100% agree with that. And that they're going to present a unified front. They're going to be a unified front, and Lord help anybody that gets in their way. That's all I can say.
Yeah. And now we're going to see the Clintons. Bill's already come out. Bill, Hillary, Obama, everybody who's been sort of sitting back. That it's just now we're talking about a woman. You think Taylor Swift is not good? Taylor's like, give me the dates. Just give me the dates. Tell me what, I think it's just going to be such an outpouring of what the party has needed to really get us to the finish line.
Absolutely.
So I'm sorry, Susan, what was the question?
No,
before
100%. I think that needed to be said, and I'm glad you did, because you lit up Kevin like a Christmas tree. So we needed that. So we were thinking about, how does Trump's campaign respond to this? How are they feeling?
Anybody else think that somebody around him is cleaning up his Depends right now? Because I don't think he's very happy.
Ooh, thank God this video's not scratching, Stiff. All right.
I told this to you before, Susan, today, and I think it kind of comes into play here. Although we'll take a look at how. Can we change it to how Republicans are feeling now that it's most likely going to be Kamala, or maybe that's how I'll read it. But I told you, don't be surprised.
I know.
When Trump didn't pick Vance. Vance was offered to Trump as VP. Because those elites, those in power, don't want Trump to be president again. They want him to kind of sabotage, step down, and they want Vance as their president. And so don't be surprised if before the election, I feel like it may be some kind of health event for Trump, but don't be surprised if the two VP picks are the ones that are heading the tickets.
Yeah.
You wait and see. I kind of feel that very strongly. Energies change. I might be completely wrong, but
No, I totally get it. I got that same thing. Like, even before, you could almost see like the energy trying to put these two younger people, and they're so diametrically opposed from each other, right? What do you think, Afefe?
I think that I was about to pull on it, but I think that's very possible. And I have felt for a long time that who's the guy? Kevin Roberts? What's his name? The Heritage Foundation.
Yes,
Foundation,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he said, because he spoke at the convention, head of the one of the major people behind Project 2025. But I saw a quote from him in reference to JD Vance, calling him the person of the face of the party going forward. He just bypassed Trump.
Wow.
And said JD Vance was the face of the party going forward.
Wow. No.
I just remembered a prediction that I made with you, Susan. I don't think Afefe was with us that time. But do you remember when we read on the energies and we said that something may happen to Trump? Oh, I just lost it. Hold on. Shoot. I get so excited with this. They kind of come in and go. I just remembered it and I forgot it. It'll come back to me. Give me a moment.
Okay. Well, Afefe, what do you get for what are you reading on?
I'm reading on whether Trump will make it to the election, whether he's going to lose.
I knew you were reading on something else. I'm like looking, I'm like, she's reading on her own thing. She's okay. Go ahead, girl.
Didn't we bring that
up? What's that?
Didn't we bring that up? Isn't that what
Maybe, I don't know. I'm confused now.
Kevin, that's not what we were looking at.
I don't even know.
We were
talking about the Republicans. No, we were.
Oh,
girl, on your own, you went over there. Let's see it. Let's see if Trump gonna live. I know what you was thinking.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember this hit that I was getting. Just give it a second. Come back to me. It's been a long day for all of us. It's kind of been one ear and out the other.
Republicans. All right, no, let me stay in order. Republicans. Are the Republicans, how they're going to respond to this? I'm already seeing, I think, because there's a lot that we know about Kamala Harris on the national stage. Certainly there was, when Joe Biden picked her as his VP, a lot was said, when more so even than when she was running for president, when she was still a candidate, before she dropped out of the race. I think we're going to see, and they're gonna unearth every single thing under the sun about her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Time. And whatever they find, it could be something from high school. It could be whatever they can find to be damaging. That's what we're going to see, especially like on Fox News, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how I think the Republicans, they're going to go into throw as much dirt as we can. And we also know part of what's dangerous about that, but it won't infiltrate our party. But it'll be with the MAGA party, or Republicans in general, the hard right. They'll believe it. They may even make up lies because we know.
Yeah.
So it's not even a matter of something about her coming out that's embarrassing. I think that Biden's people, they vetted her well enough to know ahead of time when she was his VP pick to make sure there wasn't anything that damaging. But I think that's gonna be their end goal, is to do whatever it takes to try to make her appear as not qualified. The fix is in, and I hate to say it, I don't want to go down this road too far, but we already have seen that their intentions are to contest the election no matter what.
Yeah.
And so there's gonna because it's her, even more than Joe, because they're gonna really go hard at trying to contest the results.
She's gonna go hard back though too. I wouldn't want Kamala Harris to be my opponent. I'll just say that. But this is what Republicans do, right? And the good thing with Kamala is that they kind of left her alone. She's kind of been, working behind the scenes. They will go on the attack now, but it's not like this narrative like with Hillary Clinton where she
or Michelle. Look what they did to Michelle, and she was the wife. She wasn't even a freaking public figure. But you're right, Kevin. They've left her alone. So I wonder why.
I remembered my hit I was going to share. It came back to me. If I can just share real quick. Yes. Me and Susan were together, and we were looking at the energy, and we felt the Republican Party being divided and the MAGAs being so pissed off and writing in Trump. If something happened to Trump, they would think it was the biggest conspiracy theory, and they would still write him in. So just watch, see if the ticket's split and divided for everybody that's freaking out that she can't win.
Yeah.
So it's
She's
another
gonna
thing
win.
that's going to help us. It's
Mhm.
another thing that's going to help us because they're just going to be so disgusted, because I do think they're going to try to get rid of 45. I really do. He's at some point, if he's a liability, he's gone. If he's not bringing in the magic MAGA money, he's gone. There's no reason for him. That was a setup. They definitely cooed him.
And we've
So
all seen women coming out in droves, and it's
Me
this
too.
divine feminine energy that's going to lead us to blue with Kamala on top of it. You wait and see.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And how just is that? Because for
Mm.
all of the, I didn't know until someone was saying, I missed this, that one of the, I don't know if it was one of the songs that they played prior to Trump accepting the nomination, but they actually, they play the different songs to get the crowd pumped up. They played "This Is a Man's World."
Oh, imagine that. And in a man's world where beaten women can't divorce their husbands, that's what JD Vance stands for.
Wow.
No exceptions
Wow.
for women's health care. Let me tell you, women are pissed off, and JD Vance is going to show who he is and who he stands for. So don't worry.
He can't help it. He can't help it. And we've talked about this, but I know some people are just joined us. I don't see, do you guys see Biden stepping down before he passes the torch? Because I don't see it. I just don't see it, guys. Look, he's already stepped down. He's already done the thing for the country that he put the country above him. And now he's going to do the next. He's a gentleman. He's going to do the thing. He's going to finish what he started.
And I don't think anyone will ask that of him. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone.
Well, some crazies are on the other side.
Yeah, but I mean the people who the people who could actually.
They better not.
Decision no, he's going to stay in there until it's time.
Yeah, he's going to totally finish out his term.
Yeah, I agree with you, Susan.
And those of you, and I think somebody must have said this in the comments. Look, we've got a little time, but please don't write Biden in. Biden is not on the ticket. If you write in Biden, you're basically writing in Trump. If you want to write Biden in, you might as well just go to the other table and vote for or click the other name. It's just that simple, guys. Let's try to breathe. Let's try to get our emotions out of this. I know we need to go through the 5 stages of grief like Biden does. We have to kind of work through it, and it is jarring. But after you work through it, I hope that you'll join all of us on this historic journey for the first Black female president of the United States of America. And yeah, that's going to bring up a lot of wounds that we're going to have to deal with. But I think that's why it's all happening.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't allow our emotions to cloud our judgment. Like I said, we have to see everything from that bigger point of view, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I threw a couple cards. I do feel like there may be some people that ask, but ultimately I see Biden staying in. He's got the wishes being fulfilled. He'll finish out his term, but I think it's actually going to be good for him because he does kind of need to take a step back and rest. And I felt that. So I think the campaigning and running the country was a little bit too much for him. So he's going to get that time to kind of step back. And yeah, he will finish out his term, his legacy, I feel. There'll be a couple calls for him to step down from Republicans, but I don't think he will.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to do a lot of executive actions in the meantime. A lot of people, he had said that he will not pardon his son, but do you think he's going to pardon Hunter before he leaves?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Nope. I maybe he will, but I don't see it. He's such a staunch rule follower. Like, if anybody needs to follow the rules, it's me and my family. Like, we're the first people that need to follow the rules. And then after that, so I don't really see it, but I wish he would do executive actions. I wish he would kind of do his lame duck, quote unquote, time where he just like, I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? Right. I think that would be great. What do you think, Afefe?
Well, I definitely, I don't see him. He's not someone who does an about face. And had he not spoken so clearly and convincingly around what he intended to do around Hunter, then maybe, but he was very, very clear and explicit that he would not pardon Hunter. So I don't see him sort of doing a na 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 on his way out. He's not built that way. Yeah.
I wish he would, though, because we all know that it was all a political attack against him.
I wish he would
too. Any of these charges brought up. I think he might think about it. I don't know if he acts upon it, but maybe he's.
Well, you know, Kamala could do it. A lot of people are saying Kamala could do it, and
maybe it's Kamala.
He could say, I don't care if you want to do that. You know what I mean? He could say that, and then Kamala could do it. I get the sense that Kamala's going to be the president. She's just not going to give any F's to give, you know, like she's not going to be caring about what people think, because that she would get nothing done if she was trying to make everybody happy. So I think she's just going to do what she needs to do.
And she's going to be part of this fiery, new, progressive, younger leadership energy. We're going to really see this energy kind of start to rise. So you know what? Pelosi behind the scenes was calling for Biden to resign. I can't wait for it to be flipped onto her. You watch.
And I hope it is. If she's running, and I think she is, right?
Re-election.
After she's reelected, this is what I'm telling you. It's what I said in this video today. Please vote blue no matter who. But after they get in, if you want to do a recall, or you want to show up at their office every day and ask them questions, or you want to, you know, comment on their social media, if you want to just be very active as an active citizen, I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea to let these people know you're not coming for democracy. I'm really angry at Nancy right now, so I'm just going to shut up. Anyway, but we need her. We cannot not vote for Adam Schiff. We cannot not vote for Sherrod Brown. We cannot not vote for anybody. We've got to vote for everybody, because, you know, to get Kamala and her VP in there, to not have the Senate and the House, is a waste of all of our time, money, and energy. And so, you know, they can't work without the Congress. So let's talk about the VP. I have to say, I'm going to just say that it seems like a million years ago, and it wasn't, because neither one of us are that old. But a long time ago, Kevin and I were reading, and we were talking about this moment, because all of us have seen this moment. Your whole community has seen this moment. Here we are. Well, Kevin was saying, I see her with Buttigieg as VP. And at the time, I thought, that's crazy, because you're going to have the first Black female South Asian president, and then you're going to have the first gay married, VP. I mean, I don't know if America's ready for that. And I said, if that happens, I would fly to Kevin's city and take him out to dinner. So I'm saying it.
We'll see what happens, right? I'm
saying it, and I will do it if it happens. And I will say this too, because when you go to any social media, man, I'm telling you, Buttigieg is kicking it. Everybody's asking the question. Everybody wants Buttigieg. I kind of feel Josh Shapiro myself. But you know what? Right now, I think anything can happen. So you know what? I would love a Buttigieg ticket. I would love it. If we could get those two in the White House over the hump of the election, I think that would be an amazing thing, just for the reason that Kevin said, this young energy. Right. That's who these people would talk to. And Buttigieg is freaking amazing. So what do you think? What do you think down there, FFA?
I'm in that thinking pose.
You're in that thinking pose.
I said Buttigieg when we were speaking the other day. I said him.
You said it too. That's right. You said it.
I did say
all of y'all are saying it. Oh my God, you said it too. That's right. I might be the last person. Go ahead.
Here's my thinking on him. Because just as we are talking about women's rights being taken away, we also know that LGBTQIA rights were right there behind them, right? So if we were talking about more middle of the road folk, then maybe Pete being gay could be a thing. But I think if if they really hammer home this message of Project 25, rights being taken away, gay marriage, education, books banned, women's reproductive, like if they hone in on that, and who better than someone like Pete to represent that threat? I think that could be,
You think it could fly?
I think it could fly. I think it could fly. And because he has operated in such a way that unless you knew his story, that's not really, he doesn't walk in that story. He walks in his business. And I just think, and sort of, I would say the same thing about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris makes no issues. Clearly, she's a woman of color, biracial, Indian as well, Indian, Asian, as well as Black. But here she is. She's married to a Jewish man, So fine, Pete's doing his thing, but he's like one of the most powerfully operational people within the party right now. And I just don't think that you could take everything else that he's done and how he operates and go, well, yeah, all that's well and good, but he's gay. Like I don't think that's gonna fly.
See it. You don't see it. All right. So you think, so if you think he can win, you think that that's not a drag on Harris's vote. Okay. I'm all for this. I'll take both of y'all to dinner. We're going to have to now go to a different place. Like I get to pick the city.
If they spin it right, if they work it at the right angle, if they,
this is the Democrats you're talking about. Okay. This is the Democrats. They can't spin anything.
So, but you know what I mean? Because the whole thing, part of our reasoning now behind, okay, if Biden is not in and we've all got to coalesce behind the ticket, no matter who, is because we recognize that the country's going to be taken over. Our rights are going to be taken away. And so I think that for all of our strong feelings and understanding about women's rights, I think the community is right there with it. And you talk about people who will mobilize, people who get the job friggin' done.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I would, I would vote for it. I would work for it. I would campaign. What do you think, Kevin? You still on the Buttigieg?
Finish your thought, Fefe.
I was just going to make an admission. I was going to say, but on the other hand, full disclosure, this is not water in my cup.
What are you sipping on, Fefe?
That little Chardonnay.
There you go.
A little summer Chardonnay. Okay.
Nothing too heavy.
I think that Pete Buttigieg would be such an asset to a ticket. He is so smart. He's so articulate. He goes on Fox News and lets the Republican Party have it. Nobody else goes on Fox News. He lets them have it. He would kill it.
You're right.
The thing
You're
is,
so right.
And I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility. But then you have them kind of focusing in on the branding and the full picture, and we're already kind of pushing the boat a little bit with a black female
Jewish husband. The MAGAs.
Is it too much to expect them to vote for her and for a gay man? Although I don't think that he outwardly, he's open about it, but I don't think if he wasn't open about it, it would be my first thought about it.
You wouldn't even know. Yeah, you wouldn't know.
But I had seen before, the energy's clearly shifted, because we've all a while ago thought that it would be Biden and Harris, and Biden would maybe step down a year or two into his term and hand it over to Kamala. And I felt in that energy, she would pick Pete Buttigieg, because I've always felt him doing Secretary of State as well.
Me too.
Now, since the energy's kind of shifted, and now that they're going to be voted in, it's not going to be passed down. I think he'll be a consideration, but I agree with you, Susan. I'm feeling more energy around Josh Shapiro. I think it's going to be a younger male from the Midwest. That fits Buttigieg too, but I feel a lot of energy around Shapiro. I don't think that they're going to do two women on a ticket, and I think a lot of people, and maybe Whitmer will try to go against Kamala, but before Biden even stepped down, she was privately talking to donors, asking if she could be the nominee if Biden steps down. So she was kind of I like Whitmer. I think she's great, but she was kind of being a little sneaky behind the scenes. Just putting that out there. That's what I had heard.
Yeah.
But I think it will be somebody from one of these Midwest blue states that can really help keep the Rust. Is it the Rust Belt? Is that
Yeah.
it, or is that the Rust Belt?
It's the
Yeah,
Rust Belt.
I could see it totally being Josh Shapiro, and I think he would be amazing too.
Right. What are you pulling on, FFA?
Josh Shapiro.
You want to
Okay.
take a look at Shapiro? And
Yeah.
I feel like this person's very, very kind, very, very warm. I'm feeling like a lot of water energy around them. I don't know what Shapiro's zodiac sign is. I know Pete is a Capricorn. But I'm feeling like the Knight of Cups energy kind of coming in with Kamala.
What? Queen of Cups?
Knight of Cups.
Knight of Cups. Okay.
Male.
Oh, Knight of Cups. Yeah. Okay.
Confirmation. Hold it as
Knight
well.
of Cups. You can't make it up.
Dang. That's magic, y'all. That is some magic. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody know Shapiro's zodiac sign in the chat?
Anybody know when he's born? The other June 20th. Thank you, LH. Woo, thank you, Valerie. Boy, y'all are on it. Y'all are for real.
There you go.
Gemini. So you say he's a Cancer, but whatever I said, that makes him a Gemini.
But he's kind of like a cusp.
He's probably close to the cusp. Okay. Y'all are funny. Just try to be nice in the chat, okay? I know everybody has strong opinions. Just try to be nice in your strong opinions. Okay. So the other name they're throwing out there is Steve Beshear, who's the governor of Kentucky.
Andy Beshear.
Andy Beshear. I don't feel him. I could be wrong because the energy, we're trying to read like raindrops in a rainstorm, you guys. I mean, there's a lot being thrown at Kamala Harris right now. Just imagine where she's at and trying to think this is a strategic decision, but yet she's got to also kind of strategic for her. Like, I've got to trust this person, but also strategic for, the states and the count and probably God knows the whole Democratic machine. What are you thinking of, FA? I feel like you got something. Andy. They don't want to give up Andy. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I did get that Kamala is more drawn to Pete than Josh.
That's true. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like they must have had a past life together. They're almost like.
Yeah, but she's definitely more drawn to Pete.
But her hands are tied. I just threw my first card out for Pete. Her hands are tied.
Yeah.
I threw for Shapiro. And check this out. We have the fiery Queen of Wands. She normally comes through as the Queen of Swords for me, but this is that fiery, ambitious, charismatic woman. Wheel of Fortune, good fate together. Six of Wands, leading to celebration, victory. And my last card was the Sun for Josh Shapiro.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
that's what I feel. I feel Josh Shapiro. Like, if I had to pick somebody, I'd feel Josh Shapiro.
Yeah. And I mean, I wasn't saying it was going to be him, Pete. I just said that's who she seems to like.
No, that for sure.
Yeah. That's who
and there's energy around that for sure too. Like I said, I kind of feel like the energy's kind of shifted since she'll be the head of the ticket now. Yeah. Had Biden stayed in and got reelected and passed it down, I think it would have been Pete. I see him as vice president or president at some point too. So there's energy for sure around that.
Yeah. All right. So Josh Shapiro it is, you all. You heard it here first.
Well, I'm gonna throw a fly in the ointment, and I'm not gonna get triggered. Watch me not get triggered. Just watch this, y'all. Hold my beer. So there's already calls, of course there are, from some conservative Democrats, but also a lot of Republicans, that Kamala should bring in Mitt Romney. But I got triggered around Liz Cheney. And because you can just see the Democrats going, oh, we'll sing Kumbaya, we'll heal the country's wounds, we'll bring the Republicans together. They don't even like her. Okay. Like, I think she's going to start her own party. I really see 4 parties. I see the Democrats coming into 2 parties, Republicans coming into 2 parties, and I think she's going to start her own. But do you guys I'll try to not even hear or see what you say, but do you see the Democrats being dumb enough, or whatever the word might be, to bring in a Republican like a Mitt Romney or like a Adam Kinzinger or
That's who came to my mind. Adam Kinzinger, absolutely not for Mitt Romney. I think it will be talked about. I don't get a yes that they will put a Republican on the ticket, but they may talk about it. Hey, maybe this is a way that we can kind of get those middle voters. What do you think? But I don't think that they will.
I think I'll need medications. What I'm going to need. I've
I
managed
think
to
Adam
not be on
Kinzinger
medication.
is great, though. I respect Adam Kinzinger. Not so much Mitt Romney anymore.
I don't respect any three of them. Okay, what do you think of FA?
Wow, you all threw me a curveball. I didn't see this one coming.
Kevin knows, because people ask about Liz Cheney and I like get triggered, and he has to like walk me back off the ledge. So anyway, yeah, often he's done this, but go ahead.
You know, I think Liz Cheney is going to have a lot to say about the Democratic ticket, in some good ways, because you know, anything to keep Trump out of there. So I think she's going to do that. I don't see them bringing her into the fold, though. As far as them bringing any established Republican into the fold, definitely not someone of a certain age. I think that they're going to be very conscious of that, because that was a part of the whole brouhaha around Biden, right? Not that he's that in that age bracket, but I think they're going to be conscious of that. And I agree with Kevin and what you're saying as well, Susan, that they're going to have conversations, because they realize that they want as many converts as they can get. And those sort of more middle of the road Republicans who are totally not happy with the MAGA party and how the party has been transformed and debased through Trump and now JD Vance. So yes, for sure they're going to think about how to get some of those people on board, but I don't see I'm not feeling any sort of full throttled.
Okay.
You know,
for that.
There may be a little bit of light energy. I think Adam Kinzinger is from the Midwest, if I remember correctly. And like I said, I feel it's a younger male. I do not think that they would put somebody of Mitt Romney's age up there.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't even ask about Newsom, because in my mind, he's not going to do it. But I could be wrong, right? Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys get a good feeling on Newsom at all? Because everybody loves him. He's done a great job of proxying for Biden. He's been out there. He's been very eloquent, very articulate, very boisterous in his support for Biden. But they're both two Californians. So that's going to make God knows how half the country feels about California for whatever reason. Well, because Republicans have branded it as a liberal town. So I think that would be an uphill battle to have two Californians on there. And I agree, Susan. I think he is waiting to run for the next election.
That's what
I was going to say. That I feel more energy around 2028. And me and Susan have talked about this before, because we've both said Kamala may take over. And then there's a little bit of a fight, I think, between Democrats. Do we want Kamala to run again? Because I don't know. She's going to have this energy, but throughout the 4 years and all these attacks, is she going to be the most popular? I don't know. And that's where it's a little iffy for me, if Republicans win in 2028 or if it's Democrats. I think if it's Newsom on the head of the ticket, it very well could be Democrats. I think if it's Kamala, it feels a little bit dicier. But I feel very good for her right now against Trump, because Trump has shown us who he is 4 years as president. People do not want Trump. He will not be around come 2028. So it's a little bit of a different dynamic there.
Yes.
Here's somebody I didn't think about, but the energy keeps pulling me there, and your comment keeps disappearing before I can grab it. Mark Kelly from Arizona. Oh, there's a little energy there, y'all. There's a little energy. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? It never even occurred to me, but he is older. Isn't he older, you guys?
I don't know much about him. What do you want? I don't know much about him.
VP, what do you pick up on him for VP?
No.
It's the Knight of Cups. It's a younger male.
Yeah, I got 5 of Cups, and I got the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, but for him, I got 5 of Cups. No.
Okay.
They might be looking at him. There's some energy there. I agree, Susan.
There's some energy. I don't know why. Maybe he's going to come into her administration in some way and be a player, a different type of player. So that would be cool. People seem to be wanting like this military thing. Like there's a lot of people wanting some sort of military representation. And to me, Kamala's already, like she's got that energy of, being very, she's not warm and fuzzy like Shapiro.
She's very powerful and strong.
She's more powerful. She's more of a, let's get this done. She's a prosecutor. That's what she is. She's a prosecutor, right? So I don't know why we would want a military general with a prosecutor. I just think that I like this idea, like Kevin said, of like somebody being like the water, like the opposite end of Kamala. That might be a really nice balance.
Yeah. Yeah, I was one of those that was feeling something military. That was coming up in my readings yesterday when I said I was spending so much time, and it felt like a military thing, but it doesn't mean, because we know how spirit works.
Buttigieg is military.
Yeah, he's a vet.
Buttigieg is military.
Oh, well, there we go. Because I didn't feel like military, but I felt like someone who can address things like the border, and that sort of thing.
That's such a good point. My God, that guy checks every box there is. And it is a historic, it is very historic, right? First female president, multiple heritages represented, but definitely she's non-white, which is fantastic, right? Childless, that's another thing that's very unusual, right? Like that's a very, this is a whole different ball game we've got going on here.
She has stepchildren, though, I believe.
She does. I want to say, I'm so glad you said that, because her stepchildren call her Kamala, Mamala. They call her Mamala.
I love that.
And today I kept hearing Mamala. She's going to be the mom of the country. What an interesting combination, where she's going to be the prosecutor. She's going to be Lady Justice for sure. But she's also going to be our mom. I mean, yeah, Kevin.
We have Lady Justice sitting behind us, and Spirit told me I needed this in 2023 to go into 2024. And Lady Justice is the card of Libra, which is Kamala's zodiac sign.
And they told me she's going to be the president of Law and Order. That's what they told me 4 years ago. She's going to be the Law and
I
Order
actually
president.
think she'll be good at it too, because getting away from Trump, his lessons were really to kind of show us how frail our democracy really was. We needed somebody like Trump to really kind of push it. And so you watch the next 4 years, we're going to get rules and regulations all updated to our Constitution, so that anybody like Trump that's going to challenge our Constitution won't have the power to do so. And so it's very kind of like a poetic justice kind of coming in, right? Poetic karma. And I think it will be awesome to have a woman kick Trump's ass. Can I just
Oh, I
share
love
that?
it. I mean, there's apparently no shortage of supply of them that continue to pop up. It's like Spirit says, here's another one. Here's another one, right? Here's somebody is suggesting Vindman.
I felt no as soon as I read it. No.
You did? Okay. Fefe, do you get anything strongly about that? Okay. I want to ask about, let's move away from VP. I think she's got some, the lucky thing is that she's got great opportunities. I mean, she's got a wealth of really good choices, right? I want to know about, well, I've often seen Garland stepping down in January. Like, even if Biden won, I saw Garland stepping down. But now that we're going to have a President Harris, I definitely see him stepping down. Do you guys? Because I think that one of her things is we're not going to be Mickey Mousing around with this stuff, right? Like we're going to double time. We're going to get this show on the road. So do you think the change between Harris presidency and a Biden presidency could result in more of an aggressive stance towards these courts and the DOJ?
Absolutely. And I think that there's going to be a lot of shakeups in the cabinet because going in with a new administration, and I just heard there's going to be a lot of women people leading the cabinet. I
Nice.
feel a woman is going to take over Garland. It might be who's beneath them, Lisa Monaco or Sally Yates. I think it's going to be a woman that takes over for Biden, but she feels very fierce too. But a lot of women, and we're going to see a lot of women in these leadership positions in the cabinet. We're going to see more in the House. Like I feel this divine feminine energy coming in with Kamala. We're going to eventually get to a point where it's like a 50-50 balance. I think it's going to take a little while to get there, but we're going to see a lot more women in power.
Yeah. Fefe, what were you getting, dear?
I think she's going to be very, very strategic, and she's going to be aware of the fact that people will almost expect her to do that. And so I do think there will be more openings and more movement in that direction, but I think she's also going to be extremely aware of not going too far, because she's not going to do anything that'll jeopardize her legitimacy in terms of.
Really? You think she'll play it safe because like a little bit like Obama did, because he already felt like he was under attack?
Yeah, I don't want to use the word safe because I don't feel that with her, but I think strategic. I just think she's going to be very prosecutor. She's the way she's.
Oh, that's true.
Well, you can be strategic, but push the boundaries a little bit too, right? I just
push the boundaries.
While you're talking.
I don't think there's going to be like a tidal wave, but I do push the boundaries for sure.
So she'll make her decisions, but they'll be very strategic, and it won't just be wholesale. I'm changing everything just because. Okay. This is an interesting thing. Stacey Abrams. Do you feel like Stacey Abrams could replace, or do you see Stacey Abrams in the White House in any way, shape, or form? No. Okay.
I feel something for Stacey Abrams. I think it might be something in the DNC. I feel like there's something with getting her to kind of help with
the DNC would be fantastic.
I see a leadership position for her. I don't know if it's the White House, not yet. Maybe down the line. But I think she would be great. I think she's amazing.
I think she would be great. I think for her at this point, it's about making her want it, because she's bowed out. Like, where's she been? She bowed out. She took this position at Howard University as part of some provost of something that didn't even. She hosts talks about power in government, but moving in government. And I mean, when's the last time you all heard Stacey Abrams? When's the last time you saw her talking about, you know what I mean? Right. I think that second loss really, meanwhile, her books are still bestsellers. Her little crimes.
I was going to say, plus she's an author.
She's an author, and that's doing very well for her. And she is doing very well now on the college circuit, because again, she was given some sort of like an honorary position with HBCUs, and she's been doing a lot of talks with that. So to pull her strongly back into the political circle that way, I'd love to see it. I just don't know I don't know where her heart is right now.
I see greatness for her eventually, but everybody in the chat keeps talking about Beto, and I don't think he'll be in the cabinet, but I've always felt him destined to be a senator. So he's not running right now, but wait a couple of years. Who's the other one? Cornyn? Is that the other Republican?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah.
I see Beto as senator at some point, alongside with Colin Allred. Or maybe he replaces Allred in a term. Maybe there's something else that comes in. Beto will be a senator in Texas at some point.
Interesting. That's interesting.
I didn't feel the governor race as much.
No, I didn't either. He's always been a senator to me. Always been a senator. But I wonder if this thing with Harris and this sort of blossoming, if you will, of new energies makes room for Beto. Because the problem with Beto is he's out there, he's against guns. He just comes right out and says whatever the hell he thinks. And he doesn't care who he upsets, whether it's establishment Dems or Republicans. He doesn't care. He does not care. So that hasn't played well for him because he's not a I'm going to fit in kind of guy. So I think maybe when everything kind of gets different, he'll fit in more because he'll be more like them. They'll be more like him or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of feeding off of the both of you, and so and I love it, and because it feels like this is far-reaching. Right now we're focused on we got to save the country. We got to, we just got to save the doggone country. But what that then means, once all of that gets nailed down, these shifts are going to continue. And I think a lot of what I'm hearing from both of you, I'm also learning some things that I hadn't thought about, or being presented with some ideas I hadn't thought about before. But yes, I'm excited. And I think this is going, because here's the thing. You can't just invite so many people to the table, voters, to say, get behind the ticket. We're here for you now. We're going to do, and then go, okay, nice job. We got this new administration in. Thank you so much, guys. You can go watch Netflix now. It's not going to happen that way. People are going to feel, hey, we rode this bus with you. We rode hard for you. So let's keep it going. And to both of your points as well, because of many of the shifts that we've seen, just how delicate in some ways we've realized our democracy is and our system is. I think they're guardrails, and bringing people in to start to not just reestablish the guardrails, but to redefine them even.
Redefine them.
Yeah.
From a new vantage point, from a complete, her vantage point is so different than these kind of ancient senators and even Biden and, and everybody that's kind of in those hallowed halls of power. This is an interesting statement. David says that a Hindu friend of his says that today is an auspicious day in their world. Is auspicious always mean good? Can it mean bad? So good. That's great. That would be wonderful if that was the case. I would be very happy for that.
Yes. And Kamala's name is a derivative of Kali.
What? Kamala's name is a derivative of Kali.
Of Kali, the goddess.
Goddess Kali. Now tell us about the goddess Kali.
The goddess Kali is fiercely protective. So to Kevin's point, he's feeling a lot of this divine feminine energy, justice, Lady Justice behind him. So the goddess Kali does not play. I've got a Kali oracle. I have to get my head on straight to use it because the images on it are so fierce. Like that's not who you want to piss off. Think about Hurricane Katrina. Think about a Cat 5. When you get Kali worked up, like it can be, she's sometimes in some depictions, you will see her with men's skulls, like a belt of skulls around her. Yeah, Kali doesn't play. Now that's just one aspect of her. There's also,
we should send that to 45.
Yeah, Kali.
But opponent.
It's one aspect. There are many aspects, and some of them are extremely nurturing and loving and all of that. But yes, she is tied into that, and she's very
the goddess of destruction.
I love it.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, and kind of like destruction of the establishment, right? Like she's going to be. Hillary should have been our president before, but she would be the first female Black president. Like that, it's pushing a lot of the norms that we've been having, the establishment. And I think even with, like I said, this younger, more progressive, more fiery leadership kind of coming in too to kind of support her.
Man,
it's exciting.
This is it. You guys have nailed it. You guys have absolutely nailed it. That is her. That's why she's divinely guided to be the president, because she's overseeing the rebirth of us in this new way, like defining the guardrails, not just moving them, not getting new ones. We're changing the guardrails. We are going to be changing the amendments. Do you guys see her being, what do you think and I won't keep you too much longer because I know that you guys need to go. What do you think might mean? I think she's going to need, on one hand, I see her literally on day one being like, we're getting down to business. Like, I think this woman has business mode. Like this is business, right? But then also, I hope she takes some time to sort of get her sea legs, right? But what do you think is going to be something that we see her? Does anything come to your mind that we might see her champion? Like, do you think she's going to go for the Supreme Court or go for the courts? Or do you think she's going to go for, Roe? I mean, what are going to be some things that she says my first 100 days are?
She is absolutely going for the Supreme Court.
I love to hear that.
She's all in on women's rights, protecting Roe. I feel like it feels like she's coming in with that experience as a prosecutor and really kind of cleaning up house. But I also feel like a big push towards women and their rights as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
A fierce defender of the Constitution, I just heard.
For sure.
Wow.
For sure.
I'm getting massive goosebumps with that. Sorry, you guys.
You getting what?
Massive goosebumps.
I love it. Get them. Yes, we need some goosebumps.
We need some goosebumps.
She's gonna. It's gonna be her and a male.
Is that Two of Cups?
Okay. Two of Cups.
Yeah.
Happy family, focusing in on the family.
Wow. Yeah, I got that too. Children.
Strong Queen of Pentacles in this deck.
Yeah. There was maybe it was didn't you said she was in P-Town this weekend when she did. There was a great clip of her with her stepdaughters getting ice cream. They went to an ice cream parlor. So yeah, she's gonna bring in this incredible, not just talking about that issue, but really embodying it and helping others embody it. And maybe to Kevin's point, then that is why she will have a focus on bringing other women into positions of power, because the idea that women can do it all.
And you said children. She was with you said her stepdaughters.
I saw her with two girls. I'm not sure they were her stepdaughters, but they look like it.
I see a focus on women and helping and protecting children too.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be education as well.
Yeah.
Education. Yeah, I think so. There just seems to be their nieces, right? Her grandnieces. Thank you guys. Those are her grandnieces. You guys are so right, because they're showing you that picture. Isn't she in a sorority?
Yes.
Isn't she in a big, like that? Her sorority sisters are also like a big deal. Like, yeah. I really think she is like power to the women, power to the children. Yeah. And then she kind of flips over and becomes the prosecutor,
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a Howard University alum. So she's
a Howard alum. Okay. Mm-hmm. What is her sorority color? Is it pink?
I want to say pink and green, and I can't remember what that is.
I know, but it's pink and green. I'm going to start wearing pink and green, y'all. I don't even care if it's the wrong color. I'm going to start wearing it.
Yeah.
Can't we all? I hope everybody in the chat.
Yes, we can all wear it, Kevin. You can wear pink and green too. It's okay.
Aren't we all feeling this good, calming energy? I know the three of us are. There's a lot of excitement, and the energy is very, very good. I know the emotions are still high. We're angry. We're disappointed. It's a bit of a grieving, but just listen to this and feel into this energy, because it's feeling really good to me.
It is to me too. Yeah, I mean, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I think I was making a lot of people angry because everything that Spirit was giving me in my readings there was a lot of doubt being cast on what ultimately could happen with things the way that they were. We needed something to galvanize people, and I think that's what's happened here.
I love that people are feeling better in the chat.
Yeah.
It's still a little sad, but I think that I still feel sad for Biden, because I just feel like that man has had so many gut punches in his life, But here
just
we
think
are.
Of his legacy.
Oh, they're colleagues.
No prisoners.
Wow,
that's powerful. Yeah. She does play
liberation.
But Biden, his legacy, he will go down in history as a great president that kept us together in this time that was so unsettling, where we were so divided. He really kept us all together.
He saved our bacon.
He did. And he will be remembered very greatly as a president. His legacy is gonna continue. So I know that it's sad, but
And, you know, you guys, to the point that was raised earlier about, you know, perhaps chaos at the convention. And I think that aspect, what you were just saying, that's going to be a really strong energy and presence at the convention that
Absolutely.
will help tamp down some of that other stuff, because he's going to be honored and cared for, and just there's going to be so much directed to him. It's going to be very emotional. I think that's,
Mhm.
we're going to see some really, really powerful emotions there, and gratitude for what he's done.
Absolutely.
50 years of service, but in particular in this moment. And so for that other wonky stuff, I think people are going to be like, no, go sit down somewhere right now, because, you know,
Nice.
we gotta put our
Nice.
arms around this man. I really do. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Mhm.
Well, you guys find Hunter's on Twitter. I don't know where else this would be, but Hunter wrote a soliloquy to his dad
Yeah.
on Twitter, and I reposted it and said, I'm not crying, you're crying. I mean, it was, oh wow, it was real. It was real and
Yeah.
powerful. So that was also really beautiful. Really beautiful. I love that you guys are saying there's so much hope now. Hope for the future. There's a rebirth. This doesn't take anything away from Biden at all, because we're honestly standing on his shoulders. We're
Mhm.
honestly standing where we are because he got us here safely. He literally carried us all on his shoulders, like through the deep water in the middle of the night with the howling storm. And, you know, Grandpa, and deposited us safely on the shore. And now it's
Yeah.
time for us to take a different leader. And I give him a lot of credit for stepping down. I think that was the hardest thing he's ever done in his life, period. So it's a moment. It's a real moment, you guys. I'm glad that you guys came on with me. Thank you so much. If you guys don't know these wonderful readers who have been so accurate, for real, please check out their channels. Please check out their websites. They offer readings and healings, and they do their own YouTube channels and have their own memberships. So please check them out. We have Kevin's Loving Vibrations. You can see on the screen, I hope, NFFA Touched by Tarot. I don't think I have their information in the description because I wasn't sure who was showing up. It was kind of like an open invitation, and but I will fix that. I will put their information in the description for the recorded video. But you guys know them. They're here on the YouTube. But, you know, as we go through this time, I don't know about you guys, but I look for my trusted readers. I look for them. I'm like, what does FFA have to say about this? What does Kevin have to say about this? And Kevin does a weekly. You do a Tuesday solo weekly, right?
I try to. The energy's been a bit intense, so
Yes.
we're all kind of going through this together. So, but that is usually when I will do my solo live, is usually on Tuesday. I'm very empathic, and so I pick up on all of your guys' energy. I pick up on the bigger energy. It's been a bit tough the last month or two. But usually, yes, I do a weekly show, and I do a show with Mel Dore once a week too, usually.
Right. And we jump on once a month or something. Yeah. And FFA does, you do your full moon, your new moon, plus you throw in some political videos. So FFA is really busy too. And check that out as well, because that's helpful. And they both have memberships. So check them out. You know, this is free, right? These are free resources, guys. Why not check them out and utilize them? Because we're going to need all the tools in our tool chest that we can get. So take really good care, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. I feel better, and I appreciate you coming on here, because I think all of our energy, we were kind of like a balm for each other, which has been really nice. So take really good care of yourselves, and we'll see you guys really soon again. All right. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye, everyone.